I would say we've had spent hundreds of millions of dollars investing in artists that never hit compared to artists that hit. It's real facts. 1 out of 1,000 artists will hit. But when it hits, it's going to hit.
How do you manage to deal with what comes with owning a record label? There's a lot of, I'm assuming there has to be a lot of stress.
This is my life. My main goal that I feel that I've reached is that there's so much raza that's proud to be raza, bro. Our music to be respected global. When you grow up in the hood and you don't have nothing and you get to be somebody, the last thing you want to do is hire somebody that grew up just like you. That's the mentality of a lot of people. One of the things about Rancho Humilde that I can speak on is that everybody grows in here. And I don't go out and hire people from other places.
You brought up the Dodgers, dog.
Yeah.
Tell me how you got a championship ring, dog. That is...
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
But how do you deal with everything else that comes with social media? Because it's not just that. This is how I feel about social media, bro.
Yeah.
Like, un día te tienen
recording?
aquí. Yeah, we're ready. Ready?
Yeah,
I don't know. We're ready.
Eso es todo organic, es una conversación.
Yeah.
Dale.
Like, one day they have you here, and the day they trying to fucking sabotage you. So how do you deal with that? Because you've been around for quite some time, and I know that you have a lot of traction on social media. Yeah. But it's like, I'm kind of like new to it, and I'm like, fuck, this is like kind of crazy to me. So that's how I want to ask, like, how do you deal with this shit? Because it's a lot sometimes.
Bro, I mean, I think the people that deal with it is people that pay attention to how to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I probably don't give a fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not the guy that's going to pay attention to what people have to say, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go back in there and I'll argue with them, but I'm over there probably taking a shit or something, you know? And I'm just right there. I don't got shit to do, so I'm right there answering back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't take it seriously, to be honest with you. I mean, I grew up, my business became 100%, you know, successful because of social media.
Okay.
Because of, you know, we were actually the first company the first record label in Mexican music. And even I just heard the other day, talking to a couple other, you know, friends that's in the major fucking label business, they were saying that we were actually one of the first companies that ever transitioned to start our company 100% on digital instead of physical, you know, because back in the days when we were coming in, se estaba yendo como el physical, the CD, you know, all that shit, and the social media and the digital platforms were coming in. And us, it was like we were already kind of on social media. Like we started on MySpace, you know. So that's where we started. We go way back, fool. You know, so we started back since MySpace, and then we were actually one of the first Latino channels that started on YouTube. So we started back in 2007. Our YouTube channel started in 2007, which that was when YouTube started. I think they started in 2006. So when I went broke, getting 100,000 views was like, like fucking, it was like getting like 10 million now, you know? It's like, it wasn't, and then plus we didn't have a lot of paisas. They weren't out the closet yet, you know? Other paisas were still in the closet, you know? Now everybody,
true statement right there. We're gonna get into that, dog.
Yeah. So you know, it was kind of cool, man. But you know, I've learned at that time, like learning to like kind of not manipulate. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that word, but how to deal with those situations. You know, it's like, look, everyone has the freedom of speech. I guess right now they're taking it from us. You know what I'm saying? And the U.S. is fucking really ripping us with that shit. But I believe a lot in the freedom of speech. And if somebody has something bad to say about somebody, that's their opinion, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if you might feel different about somebody, but you won't be as outspoken as that person, you know, and they might just beat you to the punch, you know. But a lot of people use the social media to really show who they really are, though. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that inner person they're hiding inside. You know, it's like I don't know.
Coming out of the closet and saying, "This is who I am."
Well, look, I kind of put it at this situation. Me growing up, I was born in the 80s and the 90s. You know, like that's where I grew up. So growing up back then, you couldn't just yap your mouth for not getting your ass whooped if you didn't have the balls to back it up. You know, now it's like that one fool that don't got the balls to back it up, he'll go fucking crazy on his social media, and he's gonna tell everybody, he's gonna cuss you out, gonna cuss me out, gonna cuss this fool out. But in person, he's gonna see you and he's gonna be the biggest fan. You're, I love you, bro. You know, social media, I was just playing, and we kind of let it go, you know. But back in the days growing up, you know, I remember I got my ass whooped for talking shit about some food, you know, and it was, hey, I had to deal with it.
That's how
you
it
know?
was.
That's how it was. It was bigger than me. Whatever, he got the best out of me. I'm not gonna sit there and cry about it, but I learned the lesson. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. My next words were to watch what the hell I say. You know?
Very wisely, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that people can't get punched in the fucking face on social media.
No, they
and
can't.
You're right.
They can't. But a lot of people,
it's very. You're very comfortable sitting down on your fucking mom's couch, chilling, talking shit about JR, talking shit about Jimmy and JT. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because there's no consequences. There's no repercussions.
There's not. But you know what? A lot of people, look, man. I bumped into a couple of people that I see that get down dirty and put my name out there like that. And then I see them, they're like, oh, fool, you know, it's because I didn't know you. Like, you were real cool in person. And I'm different. Like, la neta, way. I mean, I'm still one of you, bro. I mean, I'm not, I don't live over there in Bel Air in the Hollywood Hills, which I could afford it. 100%. You know, I could go buy me
I think you could.
You know, I tell fools all day, I could go buy me a $40-50 million house, you know? But am I gonna live there? Am I gonna live comfortable? Hell nah. You know, I still live right here, food down the street. You know, and I'm still it's home. I still want to hear the bird here and there. You know, late at night I still hear the sirens. You know, it's like I go somewhere where it's quiet. Fool, I'm scared. Fool.
But I agree, and I think well, back to that, I just think people get too fucking comfortable, and people. But I think it's people like us that are a little bit more old school, that grew up without it, that have, like we have 120 episodes. You're the 120th.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we have never, I can never talk shit to you online, talk shit to anybody online.
Yeah.
That's not how I grew up. That's
hard, bro.
That's like, I can't. Just, if I have something to say, like I'd rather tell it to the person in private. Yeah. Like, hey, brother, look, I didn't agree with this. I don't know if it comes with age or maturity, you know, but it's like, and these kids and these people just be talking shit about people online. Like, that shit is regular. Like, there's consequences to certain things.
You got to think about one thing, that a lot of these youngsters out there, you know, anywhere from 14, 15, 17, 18 years old, I mean, their parents are like us. You know, I got a 22-year-old daughter. And I got a 16-year-old son. So a lot of fools out there my age got kids their age, you know, and a lot of the fools probably ain't real, you know, and they go on there and, you know, the dad's right there talking shit and the mom también is always on social media. So that's the life they see now, you know, so they kind of feel comfortable with that. But I think it has a lot to do with what you teach your kids at home too, you know.
Exactly.
So I tell my kids all day, you know, like they're not allowed to have social media, you know, and if they do, it's very, very low pro.
So,
you know?
So like, do you restrict them like Monday through Friday?
No. I'm not. You know what? I don't have no restriction for my kids.
Okay.
My kids, I'm gonna tell you one thing. My kids walk in this room, each one of them gonna say hi to you, and they're gonna introduce themselves to you, and they're gonna tell you who they are, and they're gonna sit there and they're gonna be quiet till they gotta talk and they gotta say something, you know, because I feel I go with those old school morals, and you know, I'm not an asshole with my kids. I'm actually I think I'm a hell of a dad. You know, I'm a cool dad. You know, I get to hang out with them, bullshit with them, you know, laugh with them and talk about crazy shit. And they even tell me like, "Oh, look, Dad, they talking about you," you know, and we're laughing at home. You know, that's our dinner talk, laughing about it. You know, and it's kind of cool because they know who they have at home. You know, and they know what it's about, and they also know what they can do and how far they can go. You know.
Yeah. And I think those old school morals need to stay alive.
So it's what you teach them, yeah.
And it's what we teach them.
Yeah.
Like
my mom, mi mamá me regañan, bro. My mom be like, "Pues la chingada, ¿qué andas subiendo eso?" You know, and she be talking shit. She be on social media.
You know, my parents watch every episode.
That's dope, bro.
Every Monday.
Saludos
a la señora Jiménez, el señor Jiménez, al Choni Miros.
Yeah. That's right. Saludos a la familia Jiménez de parte de aquí de su amigo Jimmy Humilde.
They watch everything, bro.
Qué chingón, bro.
And then they be like, "Hey, ¿por qué dijiste esto, cabrón?" Because I be saying shit like when I was growing up, like, "Oh, I did this."
Yeah.
So they're just waiting for me to get home.
Yeah.
Oye, es hijo de la chingada. ¿Cuándo hiciste eso? I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm snitching on myself.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, man, because my mom is probably my biggest fan, you know? Like, I see her, she watches everything. If I'm on TV, sometimes I even forget I did an interview somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, saliste en la televisión." And I was like, "When? ¿Qué de qué? ¿O qué? Oh, te una entrevista." I'm like, And then my guys will tell me, oh yeah, for when we were over there. Okay. But you know, she trips out. She loves it, bro. My family, honestly, my carnales and my sisters and brothers, I got a big ass family, bro. You know, it's 8 of us.
Damn.
So yeah, we're big.
8 of them, including you?
Yeah, I'm the second to the youngest though. So I mean, they're all older than me, you know, and I'm blessed, carnal. I got some beautiful family. I got my brothers and sisters and my nephews, nieces, my jefita, like bro, I got a hell of a family, bro. You know, we're very close. We're never going at it. You know, we have little arguments here and there, but I mean,
everybody else.
But it's about love with us. You know, it's like every day in the morning, good morning, love you guys. I'm not Jimmy Humilde to them. You know, I'm Jaime. You know what I'm saying? And it's like to my mom, you don't give a fuck about Jimmy Humilde. I'm Jaime, you know, and that's who I am to my family, you know, and it's a blessing, bro. It's a blessing to have family like that.
I think it's a blessing that everybody's healthy, everybody's good, and they seen. Because I think everybody sees you, Jimmy, and they see overnight success. And they don't fucking know that to reach that type of success, I'm sure it was...
I'm tired, bro.
20 plus years and it's fucking draining,
well, look,
bro.
I tell everybody I'm 46 years old right now, and I didn't see my first big dollar till I was like 38. You know, so it was like I've been broke all my life with the work about it. Like, bro,
that's beautiful though. That's
like I know what you're talking about. You know, it's like I mean, it's like I kind of put my mentality to be successful. You know, and even when I was broke, I was rich. You know. And I tell people that shit all day. Like, they don't get it. And I'm like, look, I don't get it either. But even when I was broke, my mentality was like, I'm going to be wealthy, you know? Like, I know I'm going to be rich. I know I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it's been a hustle, bro. I mean, trust me, dog. Like, you know, even when I was like 35, 36, I was still struggling to pay my bills, you know? And it's like, I was blessed to have good people around me that helped me out, you know, and my dad refinanced his house to help me get a taco truck, you know, and I had to pay him back here and there. I paid off the house, él que dejó, and, you know, and it's like, it's a beautiful thing. I've always had people looking out for me, bro. I swear to God, man, you know, my life has been a blessing, man, because I've always had good people around me. Yeah, I've had fucking demons around me también, you know, but
it's normal. It's regular in business.
But I mean, they go away on their own and they deal with their issues on their own, bro, you know, and gracias a Dios, I just continue to keep going, man, you know.
And I think that's very important what you said, because a lot of people think that they're self-made.
Yeah.
And I think that we all have somebody that that have supported us through our journey. No. And for me, everybody's like, shit. I had my parents help me, push me, even though, you know what I'm saying, I was kind of like desmadroso growing up, but they never lost faith. They're este hijo de la chingada, he's going to do something, you know?
Yeah, pa algo va a servir este cabrón.
You know? I'm like, you know, and I think growing up, my mouth would get me in trouble. No Diddy, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I always had something to say. I was very outspoken, and I think, fuck, look at that's making the big difference in my business. But I think them not giving up is fucking dope, and you having that, like, you can look back and be like, damn, they were with me since the beginning, and those are the ones that now that you have damn near everything.
I'm gonna tell you something that I never talk about. You see this person right here, you know, you might see me wearing jewelry, flashing my car.
Nice watch.
Oh, thank you.
That's right.
You might see me who I am. You know, everyone sees this guy, right? But behind this guy, bro, I take care of all my family, all my brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I financially, mentally, and however I can. You know, I got a brother that just went through a lung transplant. You know, saludos a todos los doctores allá en Monterrey. In Mexico, we got it done over there, you know, and we were able to, you know, I almost lost my brother, you know. It was a mission, honestly, man. And then, you know, I got a sister that's very ill right now. And, you know, my mom, as we speak right now, she's about to go get surgery, you know. And
no way.
Yeah, and it's like, I got a lot of nieces and nephews that I look after, you know. It's like, I gift them cars, I gift them jewelry, I gift them clothes, I help them out with their rents, I loan them money, you know. It's like, I don't ask for it back, bro, to be honest, you know. It's like, it's my family, and I take a lot of good care of them, you know. But behind them, bro, you know, it's like, there's a big thing behind them, you know. It's like, I make sure I want to make sure they're good. You know, not only me, you know, fuck me, bro. I'm the last one to eat on the table if I have to, you know. But it's about helping your family and friends and family and your partners that surround you. You know, I got to make sure my partners are good. I got to make sure my business partners understand everything we got going on and their families are good because they do the same thing. You know, JB and Rocky, they do the same thing. They take care of their jefitos. They take care of their brothers and sisters. It's like we make sure we all do that. And that was our goal, you know. So I think that's what helped us a lot in life, even to become who we are today. And then we have over 100 employees, bro. You know, and that's just in our office. You know, we're not talking about the bands and the artists. I mean, so just behind this person, there's probably about a good 3,000 to 4,000 people that depend on me to wake up every day and make a move and make something happen, you know? So
that's a lot of pressure, bro.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of pressure, but I love that shit.
But from everything you just said right now, you know what that tells me?
Yeah.
That you have great parents.
Of course. Yeah.
Because I think all that's learned.
Of course.
Going back to what we said earlier, I think everything starts at home.
Yeah.
And I think those values and everything, Mexicans, Hispanos were really family oriented, and family always comes first.
Yeah.
For the majority, you know? And it just shows that you had great parents, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You
Yeah.
know?
One thing I learned from my dad, bro, was, you know, when I got to learn as a youngster. Una vez llegaron unos primos from Mexico, you know. They had just got here, and, you know, they crossed the way they did, and they did everything. And they would always get to my pad. You know, my mom and dad were always like the ones to look after all my family, you know. And they came in. We lived in a one bedroom home. Like, it was my mom and dad and my sister slept in the room. Me and my brother and my other brother slept in the living room and the couch and in the floor, whatever. And then llegaron dos primos, bro, you know, and then they slept in the living room with us. And then those primos, another primo got there, and he came with his family. So, I mean, at one point, shit, it was a family. I mean, it was a wife to him, 3 of their kids, my other 2 cousins, my other brother, and me, in the living room. You know what I'm saying? But my dad made, you know, when I heard him say something, you know, it was like, hey, aquí todo, de la puerta para adentro, todo es cama, you know, y todos son bienvenidos. So it's like, it was like, it didn't matter. Like us, I swear to you, he was right, because at a point, you know, I wasn't sleeping in the couch no more. The girl was, you know, and the kids, and we had to sleep by the bed, and it was like, I was right by the door. You know what I'm saying? We had to put a towel because it was cold. You know, so we had to put a towel.
Cold.
And then in the morning, I had to wake up. My jefita con los frijoles, las tortillas a mano. She always made beans and carne con chile, bro. So that was every day. That was my meal every fucking day. And then, you know, she would do different things. Los caldo de pollo, caldo de res, enchiladas michoacanas, los sopes, la morisqueta, you know, all that shit. So it was like,
to eat. Well, I'm on a diet right now.
yeah. I try to be on a diet so bad, bro, but I love to eat, bro.
I try the hardest, bro. And every time I go to my mom's house, it's hard, bro.
I know, it's hard.
It's hard, bro.
Yeah.
Because even when I start losing weight, you know, ay, no. Te miras muy flaco.
¿Qué tienes? ¿Estás malo qué?
No, ni madres. Does your mom still cook with lard?
All day. Yeah. you know, my jefita, look, my jefita is, she's 81, you know? So, she's up there, you know? She's up there in age, but la viejita, bro, she's stronger than me and you in this food again. Like, you know,
that's that Mexican strain.
Yeah, bro. It's like, I'm like, Mom, like, you don't even suppose. She got surgery and was out like a week later. And I mean, she got full blown arteries, everything, you know, big old surgery. And I'm like, Mom, like, you know, she had a big old cut in her stomach. And I'm like, Mom, you can't be walking. Ah, pues acuéstate tú. Like, oh, porque la chica. You know, it's like, those are the situations that kind of make you like a stronger person, I think. You know, having good parents like that, you're right. You know, having good parents make you a good person, you know? So it's cool out there, man.
Yeah, man. I think I get all those qualities from my parents, too.
Of course, man.
They're really...
And I give it to my brothers and sisters también. I mean, my brothers and sisters, they're way older than me, bro. You know, my oldest brother, I think, is probably like 64 years old, bro. So it's like 63, 64, maybe. If I'm not right, sorry, bro. Because he be watching everything, too. 54. You know? Yeah, but, you know, even them, I learned from them. You know, I was driving with my old lady yesterday, dropping out my son at school. And we were at a red light, and I was looking at on my social media. I was at a red light, stop. I wasn't driving.
He was not driving. We don't do that.
and the old, they said back, growing up in the 80s, and it showed a newspaper from Toys R Us and how they would show all the toys and everything.
Damn.
Well, I tell people, man, my brother used to take me to Toys R Us. He used to take all of us, my brother, my sister, the one right here in Culver City.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was a... Yeah. I mean, interrupt you. Go on. Yeah. And then I'm going to tell you this story.
Well, he used to take us to Toys R Us just to go look around. We used to go just to go look around.
And Toys R Us had that smell.
Yeah.
Of Toys R Us.
Yeah, it had a smell, bro.
These guys won't know. Like, I knew when I was in Toys R Us.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sometimes he would be like, "Oh, I got $5. You guys get something." So we had to get something that was $1, or 50 cents. Cause it was like 8 of us, 7 of us, that would go. Yeah. He would take me, my sister, my nephews and nephews and nieces and a couple of neighbors or something, and we'll get in his van. Vámonos. We'll go to Toys R Us and just go look around, bro. I would love going in there looking around, man. Get to touch these things and do all that. We couldn't afford it, but. And then you'll see like...
Un pinche taco de ojo?
Sí, no. Un taco de ojo no hace el año, all the time,
Dude, my Toys R Us, the one I grew up going to, it's El Super now.
Órale.
So it's right here in Bell Gardens. And it breaks my heart, bro, to be like, I had the most happiest moments in that place as a kid. Because even when you would go buy Nintendo stuff, I know, Nintendo, people are going to be like, what is that? You would have to get the little sticker and then take it up.
Oh, yeah. They didn't have it there.
I had the most beautiful moments.
You know how much was a Nintendo?
Back then?
Yeah, there's 2 prices for them.
$99?
$99 for the one with the game.
And then $124.
No, $79.99 without the game. It was like you get a bundle pack, and you used to only get 1 control. So 1 control, and then if you buy for the $99, you'll get 2 controls and the Super Mario game.
But did you play that game that you would shoot the ducks?
Yeah, Duck Hunt. What do you mean? Duck Hunt, of course,
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I used to play Contra, Duck Hunt, todo eso, it was the best. Remember that shit?
But you know what?
Up, down, left, right, BA. That was the fucking code,
I think those moments make everything so much special in my life.
Of course, man.
To go through stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, like, I could just imagine for you, like, you went from going to Toys R Us. I've been to your compound. What's it called here? He didn't invite me, though.
Oh, shit.
But it was Malichin. I think it was because Jay Valentino's my cousin.
Oh, hell. Oh, what's up, Big Jay?
What's up, fool? So he's like, hey, come with me.
Down.
Yeah, because, what's it called? He was here. And then he's like, fucking, just come with me. And I'm like, all right, cool. So you went from a Toys R Us to having like Hot Wheels, like a whole dealership of cars, dog. That's like crazy to me. I came and I told him the whole cheese, man. Like, hey, boy, I never seen so many dope ass cars at once.
Yeah, I have my collection. Look, I started collecting things I could never have, and. But I take really good care of them. Like I started collecting watches. I don't know if you heard the story where I had a box. I bought one of those badass boxes to store watches, all nice and everything. And then I had, I think it was 24 fake Rolexes. Or I remember if it was 24 or 18, but it was one of those numbers. But I had the box, and I had a fake Rolex in every single one of them because I still had my Rolex, you know what I'm saying? And then, but my goal was to convert all of them into a real one. So I did. I ended up doing it, man.
That's fucking dope.
And I did it, bro. And look, I tell motherfuckers all day, I tell people all day, I said, look, ain't nothing better in life than to set a goal. If you set a goal, and I call them manifestation goals. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, as a matter of fact, I was talking this talk with my girl today too, and I was like, hey, remember I used to tell you all the time that we were gonna be rich? And then she was like, man, I used to think you were so full of shit, She was like, man, I would just go home and be like, man, this fool wishes. Like, damn. She's like, I wanted to tell you so bad, like, stop dreaming, fool,
Toca madera.
Yeah. And then I was like, remember I told you I was going to buy you this car? Yup. Remember I told you I was going to do this? Yup. I said, look, man, it's like, that's what I want to inspire people about, to like set goals, And it's like, I don't give up still till right now, bro. You know, I still set a lot of goals. A lot of people be like, oh, he's rich. He don't give a fuck. He don't know the struggle. He don't know any of that, fool. I still struggle, fool. Don't think that it's, oh, this fool got money. He don't got no more problems. Man, shit, more money, more problems, you know? It's like,
homie.
If you don't have the mentality to deal with more fucking problems in your life, don't think about getting paper. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be 100% with you, man. You know, paper comes with a lot of bullshit.
Do you live in Southern California and are you looking to buy, sell, or refinance one of your properties? What better agent to represent you than the host of True Hustle Podcast? Go ahead, give us a call or send us a text at 323-352-7946. Now let's get back to the episode, baby.
You know, it comes with a lot of drama. It comes with a lot of different situations. It comes with a lot of different taxes in your life, a lot of investments, you got to make sure you make the right investment. If not, you're fucked, you know? I seen fools go fucking super fucking rich to super broke real quick. Fast, you know? And don't be an asshole when you get money, man. You know, I know a lot of motherfuckers that get a little money. Oh, they think they
I encounter them a lot.
Hey, you know how many motherfuckers I put on that man, I'm gonna tell you what happened to me, man. One time it was this guy. I put him on so bad. I taught him the whole way and told him what to do, how to do it. I taught him I made his homie his business partner. I made his other homie his other business partner. I told him what to do, how to do it. This fool didn't tell me the other day that because I don't know what was the conversation with him, and then he goes, "Fool, you didn't help me, fool." And then I was like, all right. I was like, all right. You know, if you want to say that, that's cool. I mean, I know I did, you know.
Sometimes not even worth arguing.
And then he was like, "Nah, I did everything by myself." And then I was like, "You did. You sure did. You did it on your own." You know what I'm saying? And then I told him, "Look, humble yourself, dog. I'm not saying that I help you, and I don't give a fuck if you want to think that I helped you. But at least know that there's people out there that helped you. Appreciate that. Love that. Take that with you and appreciate that and embrace that. Because you know how many people wish that they had somebody that would put them on and showed them how to get there? I say, you know how many people wish they were in your shoes right now and you over here fucking taking advantage of the situation to tell people that they didn't help you and saying that you did it on your own and that you don't need nobody?" I said, to me, that's stupid, bro. I don't go around saying that. I go around and I tell people all day, even to my homies and everybody, I appreciate my homies, bro. I appreciate the fools that went out with me to fucking pass out flyers. I appreciate the fools that drove me to the clubs when I didn't have, you know, a car or for many years I didn't have a car, you know, so I had to get a lot of rides, you know.
Now he has like 100.
Yeah. It wasn't no Uber and shit like that, you know, but, you know, and I got to tell him that. And then he said, man, you know what? He called me the next day. And he was like, "Hey, bro, my bad." And I said, "No, bro." I said, "Sometimes you need to come back to earth."
You need to stay grounded.
Yeah, you need to stay, because it's really easy to fuck yourself up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can start getting into drugs, start getting into alcohol, start getting into fucking, you know, partying with girls, you know, throwing your mind off of the real life, you know, and you start abandoning your family, your kids. Man, you know how many times I see people do that shit, bro? You know, and
that shit must be heartbreaking.
It's hard, bro. I mean, I see fools all day. Like, fool, you were happy as fuck last year, fool. And now it's like, look at you, dog, fucking coked out, you know.
But do you think that has to do with just all of a sudden getting fame and getting large amounts of money, that people can't handle that?
Well, they say if you want to meet somebody who they really are, give them money. That's where you're going to see the person that really comes out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I believe in self-confidence.
Absolutely.
Know? If you're not self-confident, then you're going to be an idiot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're self-confident, that means you're going to know that a paper's not going to make you as a human being or as a person. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're very self-confident of yourself, you're going to know that money ain't shit, because you're going back for more and more. And that money, you know, it's like, look, I've seen my bank account get from really big to really small real quick.
Real fast, yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
From bad investment, you know, good investments. The majority, thank God, has been good investments. You know, it's like when we first got a little bit of paper, we invested every single dollar back in the company, you know? And then I told my partner, what do we do next? This is my idea. And they were down with it. Let's reinvest all the money again.
Smart.
And we did that. The third time came around, we said, hey, fool, can we buy each other a watch? You know? A little car, you know, something here and there.
A little Porsche.
We did do that, you know? It's like, we did. I bought myself a little Range Rover, you know? I was rolling, little Range Rover and shit. The other fool got a fucking badass truck.
What kind of watch you buy?
Yeah, I bought a little Rolex.
Oh, you know.
I bought me a little Rolex, a little Datejust.
A little presidential.
No, it was a Datejust.
Okay,
It was a nice little Datejust,
all right,
you know?
All right.
I still got it, you know, and I did that. And then we reinvested back in the company, you know, and trust me, man, it was like when people would see me out there and they thought I was doing super good, we really wasn't. You know, we would dump all the money back in the company, and you know, we're doing it again right now. You know, we're doing the movie business now, and thank God with this movie business, it's a lot of money, man. There's a lot of money. We haven't got a bag yet, but we're chasing it.
It's coming.
Yeah, we're chasing it.
And I think yeah, man. It's sometimes you gotta reward yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Why not? Shit, I reward myself a lot now.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, huevo.
You know what I'm saying?
But, you know, fuck, fool. That shit look hella nice.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Shout out to my boy Zach that put me on this, man, right here. You know.
That's a nice watch, though.
Yeah, man. It's actually I'll tell you a story, man. I got a Richard Mille probably about a few years ago, and I didn't know what they were. You know, I didn't know what it was, man. So I came up on a quick one with a friend that, you know, he ended up buying this watch from some other people, and I got a price from it, and I mean, I got a good deal on it, and I ended up selling it for like super cheap. I didn't know, you know, but the guy that bought it for me, he knew. But I made paper, but I made money from it, so I can't be, you know, too greedy about it. But I made a little bit of money from it. But when I found out, it was worth 4 times more, you know. I was like, shit, really? And I was like, shit, I thought I came up, you know. And they were like, no. But then I didn't buy one ever since. And then I bought one probably like 2 years ago again. And then I me calmé. You know, they're really expensive, man. So it's
I
like,
love expensive.
So it's like, shit, is it, you know? So
which was your favorite watch, though?
That's a hard one, man. I think my 5980, my Patek. Yeah, that one's pretty nice. I wear it a lot. And then this one también, you know, I've messed with this one a lot. Dodger color for sure.
Like,
you know?
like when I start having Jimmy Humilde money, I'm gonna get me a Patek.
You got to, bro. Even before, bro. You don't.
Like right
wait.
now, I ordered the AP. Well, I didn't order it. I'm on a fucking list. Like, you know, like what the fuck? A year wait.
Yeah.
No que no había feria.
Yeah, I just got I just got a black AP. It's the only one in the U.S. right now. It's the forgot the name of it, man. Is it
black, the one with?
It's black with the skeleton. It's a gold inside.
Okay, yeah.
It's very light to watch, but you know, I paid. Honestly, I'll tell you how much I paid. I paid $400 for the watch, like $420 around there.
So you paid a house. That's not what you're telling me.
But the watch is worth like $700. Like somebody already offered me $700.
So you have instant equity.
Yeah, real quick. So I've learned to like buy stuff now that have equity, you know?
Let me ask you this though. When did you allow to start buying yourself those type of items? Like was there like a, okay, I had to make this amount of money, or I had to own this type of properties or whatever, or my company has to be at X, Y, and Z so I could start buying myself these items?
I think probably like around 6-7 years ago that I really kind of like, you know what, I could buy me a car, you know. And when the pandemic came in, I bought a shitload of lowriders. You know, I bought a lot of Impalas, bro. I got probably the biggest Impala collection in the world.
Yeah, I've seen them in there.
You know, yeah. And I tell people all day, man, I said, because everybody was telling me, damn, fool, you're paying $30,000 for that ride. I was like, shit, watch, you know. And everybody was like, you're paying all this money. And I would go and I would see a fool in his car and I'd be like, hey, fool, how much you want? Nah, it's not for sale. I'll give you 25 bands. Boom, he's out of his car. Let's go.
Everything has a price.
You know, and those cars now, you know, I could tell you at least 30 of the Impalas that I have are worth probably 5 to 7 times more than what I bought them for right now. You know? So for example, the 59 Impalas, I bought like 3-4 59s at like 90 grand, 100 grand. And those motherfuckers are going for 350 right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
a car?
Yeah. Yeah, the 59 convertibles, you know?
I'm not a car guy, so I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, that's a lot of
Oh
money.
yeah, it's going for a lot, man. I mean, I've gone to people and buy 3-4 cars off of them, you know, and to me, everybody was like, oh, you spending all this money, I'm not. I'm investing money, you know. And then one day, I put up a car for sale. I put up a '63 Impala for 100 and some thousand, and some fool bought it, you know. And that right there gave the value to the Impalas like a whole different level. Because everybody was like, this fool sold it. I don't sell my cars. I have before, but the only reason why I sell them, I'm going to be 100%, which I'm gonna do something for all you fools that want to buy an Impala or some of the cars that I got. I am going to put like 10 cars for sale, but all that money, we donated back. So
Really?
every single one of that dollar, we donated back. You know, so the last cars that we sold, we ended up doing a lot of charity work. We do, we go back to a lot of neighborhoods, you know, and we help out a lot of students. We give away, you know, we try to fund a lot of degrees out there. You know what I mean? Scholarships. And we do a lot of scholarships, and not only Mexicans, you know, to Southern American, you know, even to the black homies, you know, to some white dudes, everybody. We don't look at no color lines, bro. Honestly,
That's good.
If you need the help, we gonna put it up, you know. So, but the majority of the people that we help is raza, 100%. I would say probably 80% is raza, and then 20% will be something else, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're the majority on
Yeah,
here,
we're
you know?
majority regardless of the fact, you know. But
shit.
we do donate all that money back. So I want to sell like 10 whips, and we have a free baseball organization that the kids have no expenses, and big leagues, you know, and travel teams sometimes that these kids never got to see that experience in their life, you know. So we have some. It's called the Humildes Baseball Academy, and
really?
yeah. Humildes Baseball Academy, man. We
dope.
practice in Downey and in Southgate. So
Nah.
you know, yeah, for real talk. Yeah,
That's dope, bro.
So we
I
do
like
a lot of
hearing
that.
stuff like that.
Yeah, but not only that, we do a lot of donations to the farm workers. We do, man, you know, I just don't put everything on the internet no more, bro, because, you know, it's like, he's showing off or do it, you know.
You know why I don't put certain things on there?
Yeah.
Because now everybody feels like, oh, well, he's going to donate to my cause, and now you're going to have 50 people lined up. And I was like, oh, shit, like, you know, you're doing this because you want to do this.
Yeah.
And now everybody's presenting a gazillion. Like,
You know what-
pues
you know-
sí, aquí. And we're like, what the?
You know what? There's a good thing and a bad thing about starting a trend of something. You know, it's like some of the people take advantage of it and really do it for a good cause, right? And then some people get it just to get the clout. And I get it. You know, you want to get the clout and you want to invest in it, whatever. And I'm gonna give you an example. When the pandemic was going on, and you know, a lot of our food vendors were getting, you know, jacked up and stuff like that, bro, it hit me in the heart because I was a street vendor. I sold tacos on the sidewalk. Like I understand them, fool. We got robbed a few times at gunpoint. You know, it was like that's scary, bro. And it's like, you know, one of my employees got socked. You know, I had just gone to the store, bro, and right when I get back, it's like these fools are like, the other fools are just taking off in their car, you know, and that fool got socked, and I was like, damn, you know. But I was in those shoes. So to me, when I seen a paletero get jacked up, you know, it was like, man, like
personal.
Like it got personal, you know, it really got to me. You know, there's a video out there. I put my feelings in it, bro. Like, and I did a GoFund for him, and man, that shit went viral, bro. And we ended up getting like 50 bands for him, you know.
No fucking
And as a
way.
matter of fact, that man, he passed away already. He passed
rest
away.
in
I
peace.
just found out, that he passed away, but nothing from that, you know, some other causes and stuff. But we got to help a lot of street vendors, bro, a lot. And then it became a trend, you know, because I put up a video one time that said I went up to a palete, the fruta stand, and I tipped her $100, you know. And I told everybody, if you can, just go to your local vendor, and if you could tip them anything, just tip them. You know what I'm saying? And a gang of people started doing it. Like I remember, man, it became like a trend. And then the influencers got involved, and then all the ones that say they're raza now, they all got involved. You know, because all these influencers now out there, they're all 100% raza. Fool,
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, like fool, you thought you were white like 4 years ago. You know, like I can't kick it with Mexicans. I don't like that Mexican music. Turn that down. Oh my God, you know, our own raza, fool. I ain't even gonna put fools out there and girls out there that, you know, years ago they would look at me and be like, man, this fool's a straight paisa, you know.
Let's talk about that, dog. because that happened to me growing up.
Yeah.
Look, bro, I grew up in HP, bro.
Straight paisa.
Paisa to the fucking max, dog.
Yeah.
And we had a discussion. And that's how when I brought up the whole Chicano stuff. Bro, when I was growing up, corridos, like our own people would be like, this guy
Your own Chicanos, your own
listening to Saul Vieira, rest in peace. Like, yeah, fool, he had bangers. Saul Vieira, Chalino, you know, we grew up to that. Yeah. And our own was like, oh no. Like, dude, our high school had its own section called Little TJ, homie.
All the paisas right there. The fools would go to school with boots, huh? Yeah, it was good.
That's when the cholos became fucking paisas. So you have the cholo paisas. So it's like that's a real thing. And people think that I'd be making this shit up. I'm like, nah, dog. I only speak about what I live.
You know what's funny is that, look, I grew up in Venice.
Okay.
Right? So Venice, it was a lot of raza. It was blacks and razas. But in Venice, it wasn't no paisas. It wasn't like there wasn't no paisas. None. I'm talking about none. The paisas were, you know, the parents and the uncles and all that. You know, but the youngsters, none of them were. You know, and to be straight up, is like in Venice, where I grew up, you know, it was dirty in the 90s, bro. It was a fucked up ass neighborhood. Yeah. You know, it was actually rated like one of the worstest neighborhoods in California.
Well, I went there as a youngster once.
So trip out. I was the only. They used to call me Jimmy the Paisa, or Paisa, and then they started some other fool. He called me Jimmy the Chunt. You know,
that was Jimmy it. Well, they used to call him Chuntis.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't care, fool, because you know it's like I would tell them like I don't give a fuck. I would roll up and my car bumping. You know, my whatever speakers I had, but I was bumping Chalino, Gavilancillo, I was bumping El Rojo, I was bumping in fucking whoever you could think.
El As de la Sierra, bro.
Sierra, you know? Yeah, but I was the only raza. I was only the only Mexican fool. But you know what? I had some really good homies, dog. You know, honestly, man. You know, and you know what's funny? You know that company Born and Raised?
Yeah.
Chris Panto, that was my homie. I grew up with him.
Rest in peace, yeah.
And it was funny because one time I went to Parral and I took a few of my homies. I was like, man, let's go, fool. And they were like, nah, we ain't trying to go because we were supposed to go to another club, right? And I said, man, let's go to Parral, fool. And they were like, man, we don't want to go to no Paisa club, fool, blah, blah. So we ended up going, right? And these fools went dressed normal. These fools, I remember it was Chris, Spanto, rest in peace. It was some other fool named Cisco, and my boy Monty, and my boy Shorty. Shorty was a little paisa too, you know, a little bit. Yo, my homie Shorty was already down with it. And we ended up going, and my homie Ruben. And we go, and none of these fools really speak Spanish, fool. Like, none of these fools, like, these are Chicanos, you know? Second generation, their parents were born here. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I was the only fool that came from first generation, you know, back in that circle. Yeah. So me and my homie Shorty. So then, when we're there, these fools are like, hey, fool, we didn't know so many girls were here, fool. I swear to you, dog. They were like, we're coming back next week, fool. The whole week, you know where we went? We went right there to HP to go get these fools tejanas and fucking camisas de seda.
Tres hermanos,
yeah, Tres Hermanos, El Mago, you know, la tienda del Mago. Yeah. It was called, what else was it called? El Charro. Well, we ended up going there. All them fools, dog, they already had their boots and all that shit. So it was funny. Yeah,
they were crack.
Yeah. So you know, they were my homies and shit, and they showed me a lot of love, bro. Like, you know, they would go to all my parties, my events. They would. I had good homies coming up. You know, a couple haters here and there, like always. You know,
like always.
But you know, these fools would tell me like, "Hey, fool, this isn't for you. You know, this life isn't for you, fool. You go." You're gonna be successful, like, you know. It's like
that's a good homie.
Yeah, that's my good homies, dog. Yeah. I tell you stories that, man, you'll be like, man, them fools. That's why when I see them, man, I show them a lot of love, man. And so you know, I got to, you know, go out to have a couple of dinners and stuff like that with me and Spanto, kicked it, and you know, from Born and Raised, and we talked about a lot of shit that we wanted to do. And so it's like I go and shop as much as I can, you know, like with the Dodgers, they let me go in there a couple hours early, and I got to shop my ass off.
Fool, you got your own parking right there, dog.
You will feel fool.
You know, hey, dog, like I got to park with the right
let me know whenever you go. I got you. No, but they let me in early, and man, me surtí, bro. You know, I spent a gang of money in there. You know, not only for me, for my nephews, nieces, for my homies. I ended up getting a lot of shit. You know, so I mean, I still show a lot of love to Born and Raised, man. You know,
Bro, you brought up the Dodgers, dog.
yeah.
Tell me how you got a championship ring, dog. That is juice.
Yo, I had it with me. I left it up. I had it with me,
I
dog.
your number would have texted you. Bring it,
Oh,
dog.
you should have, dog. But
God.
I swear to you, I was like, I had it with my hand, and I took it somewhere else that they wanted to take some pictures of it. But I'm gonna tell you, man. I was talking to one of the reps right there at Dodger Stadium, and we were just bullshitting, and then he was like, "Hey, it would be dope if you own a ring," and then I was like, "Hell yeah, it would be dope, fool! Like,
You
what I
ain't
gotta
gotta tell
do?"
me twice, dog.
So he was like, "Oh man, you know they're giving their premium customers like an opportunity to buy a ring, but only certain people, right?" And I was like, "Okay," so I was like, "I want one." So they were, all right, cool. So they did my ring, and I was able to. They were like, "You could customize it however you want, but it's the same exact ring, you know, the championship ring." And they were like, "Oh," I was like, "All right." You open it, and it's a stadium, and then it says Humilde on it. You know, it's pretty badass, bro. La neta,
I seen you post it, and I send it to Eric. I'm like, hey, fool. I hope one day we fucking have Jimmy Humilde money so we could get our own fucking ring,
You know
dog.
what's funny, man? I like look when I seen it there, I couldn't believe it. Like it didn't hit me, like, you know, it didn't really like. I'm gonna tell you straight up what happened that night, bro. You know, they brought it to me to my chair, and I put it on, you know, and I was like, damn, you know, there's a championship ring. I got to be at the World Series, you know, I got to be at every game almost, and I got to see them, you know, create that history, you know, and I had it on going home, and I remember I had a couple of drinks. I was with my boy Lester and JB and Rocky, and I was going home and just looking at it, you know. Then I got to the pad, you know, and everybody was asleep already, you know, and I get in there and I'm right there taking a shit. And I started looking at the ring, bro, and I started tearing, bro, like what the fuck, like just tears out of my eyes, bro, like así llorando, cabrón. Like I don't cry like that, but it was just a joy to be like, fuck, like how is a fool like me coming from my parents that barely were able even you know, to take care of all of us, you know, the dude growing up how I grew up and being broke the majority of my fucking life, you know, and I stood and I came to so many games, and you know, up there in the nosebleeds, and then brought myself a little bit lower, and then, you know, then when I was doing okay, I was at the third base, you know, and then to come to be right here, you know, at home plate, right behind home plate, right with the Dodgers, you know, kicking it with people I never in my life thought I'll be next to, and just to know that those are our seats, you know, that's Rancho Humilde seats right there, you know. Dang. And just to know that you have no idea what it's like to. I wish I could share that moment with as much as people as I can, because we give our tickets away a lot. We don't sell our tickets. The majority of people that hold dugout tickets, they sell their tickets.
Sell them,
yeah, we don't. We don't sell our tickets. We give them away. We give them away to friends and family, and honestly, it's like they get to experience that. And honestly, like this year, you know, people has experienced more than we have. You know, we haven't really been to a lot of games because we've got a lot of shit going on. You know, and but it's beautiful. I'll give you some tickets, man. So that way you guys
Hell
go.
yeah.
And
I seen you at opening game, and I was with my boy Eric right there.
as a matter of fact, you ain't doing nothing today. I'll give you 4 tickets to go today.
Shit, I'll fucking go today.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'll give you 4 tickets, you know, and park in my spot right there. The Rancho Humilde spot is
Let's
G7
go.
because, you know, the 7 is our favorite number. So, you know,
It
it's
is your favorite number.
It's
You
G7
said
right there.
721, right? Or something like
721. That's me and JB's birthday. You want to hear it crazy? Look, I'm the 7th child of my family. I lived at the address 721 for 21 years. And it's crazy. Then I met JB. JB's 721 too. So it's like crazy, man, you know?
that. I can't wait for the game now, but man, I got excited.
And they playing those sorry ass Giants. You can't go with that jersey though. You're gonna get jumped.
Okay,
I
look.
hope they jump you with that jersey.
Well, this is what happened, bro. Jimmy walked in and he looks at me like, "What the fuck?
I didn't even want to shake his hand.
Like, is that a Giants jersey?" And then I was like, hell no, bro. This is a USC one, you know? Like, bro, but it does kind of look like it, but I ain't wearing this shit today.
Yeah. You can't wear that, bro.
It seems like you have great business partners.
Oh, hell yeah.
What did that friendship just organically happen? Or how did that happen? Because I'm in business. And there's a lot of shady motherfuckers out there, bro.
Yeah.
And it's kind of disturbing, you know? And it's like to have a legit business partner, I think that's very difficult. But you've been able to build with them.
Yeah.
It's like, how did that happen?
Well, I think us three, we were blessed to be born kind of like with the same life experience. Like, you know, we all grew up broke. You know what I'm saying? We all grew up first generation Mexican. And, you know, Rocky came from Zacatecas. You know, JB came from Jalisco. You know, we came from Michoacan. And so it's like three different cultures, believe it or not, in one big old culture, you know? So it's like JB and Rocky and myself. I mean, I was just talking to him on my way over here. It's like, we're brothers, bro. It's like we ain't, you know, money hasn't been able to divide us. But it wasn't easy. I'm going to tell you, it wasn't easy, man. You know, we've had arguments. We've had disagreements. We've had, with me and JB, man, we'll argue, fool. You'll see me and that fool argue, and you would think that, like, oh, shit.
This was going to get down.
That's not going to get down. And then 5 minutes later, we're fucking laughing, fool. You know, it's like our brother relationship. And it's like, man, you know, when I first met JB, I was at my taco spot, and I met him by another homie named Victor. And he brought him by because, you know, JB wanted to meet somebody that worked with El Original de la Sierra. He was a huge fan, and I worked with Jesse for a long time.
Yeah, Jesse was popping, bro.
Yeah, well, I was his assistant forever, you know?
I heard.
Yeah, man, and shout out to my boy Jess. And he wanted to meet me, so he brought him, and I met him, and he was like, "Oh, food's your taco spot? Yeah, that's cool, food. You know, and I want to get tacos next month for my birthday." And I was like, "Oh, for sure, dog. You know, let me know. You know, we do taquizas and everything." And then he was like, "Man, you know," and I was doing the taquiza. That was my side hustle from.
And you were the one, boom, 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 vámonos.
Look at my hands, bro. I got tacos.
So tú eres un pinche profesional para los tacos.
Yeah, I got mis manos son de look. I got ugly ass hands because of the comal, bro. I was on that comal for like 12 years. Yeah. It's shit's hot, you know, burning your hand. Éramos taqueros de veras, tortillas agarrándola con la mano, you know.
Like estilo
unos
Tijuana,
tacos de pellizco.
Así, boom,
unos tacos de pellizco, you know, would put it in there. And there were certain meats como la cabeza and the lengua. It's always better if you just pick them with the tortilla. So that was us. So it was hot, you know. So my hands, you know, became really ugly because of them, you know. If you see all the taqueros, they got ugly ass thick hands, you know. It's like all the heat pumps you up, you know. So he goes, "Yeah, my birthday." I go, "When's your birthday, fool?" He goes, "In July." I go, "Oh, no shit. What day?" He goes, "The 21st." And I looked at him and I go, "Fool, that's my birthday." He was like, "What?" He's like, "I never met nobody that has the same birthday as me." I go, "Me neither, fool." You know, he's like, I didn't get to celebrate in high school. I mean, in the schools because I was a summer baby, you know. So everybody le cantaban happy birthday ahí en la escuela y todo. And he was like, "Me too, fool. That shit felt like shit," you know. And we became good homies, dog. And I told him that I had some horses. I told him I had 2 horses. And he was like, "Really? You got horses? I love horses." So if you see our logo, Rancho Humilde, there's 2 horses.
2 horses.
Yeah, so I'm like, fool, I could barely pay rent on them fools. And I had got those from El Original, you know, so me los pasó el Jesse. And I was like, fuck, I couldn't feed them, bro. It was expensive, you know, they was getting more expensive.
Oh, they're more expensive than dogs, huh?
Yeah.
No shits are like,
hell yeah, bro,
like
them motherfuckers eat. They eat, bro. So I told JB, "Wow, I'm going to go ride tomorrow. You want to go?" And he was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." So we met over there, and then I see that fool liked the horse y todo. And then he was like, "Yeah, fool." I was like, "Yeah, fool, I'll sell it to you, fool, you know, if you like it." And he was like, "Man, I would love to have a horse, fool, but, you know, I don't got no money, dog." And I was like, "Well, I see that you have a laptop, fool, you know." I swear to God, bro, we traded the fucking horse for a laptop, bro. Like, I got a laptop, and he got a horse. And then we became good homies, bro. And from there, our relationship has grown and grown. And now him and JB, we're all compadres one way or another. So it's like we're all compadres. We call each other compadres. And, you know, it's like we're brothers more than anything, though. You know, it's like if anybody, something happens to one of their family members, it's like, you know, I remember one of them had a person ill in their family. And it was like, "Hell no, come on. Get a plane, get a jet, boom, send them out. Let's go, get that shit taken care of," you know. And same thing with us, you know. We don't measure each other, you know. We don't measure each other with like, "Oh, you got this, you got that." Yeah. And I mean, imagine, you know, JB just moved out of Compton last year, or this year. He just moved out of Compton this year, right there in the Compton Farms, and then I would tell, come on, fool, you got to move the fuck out, fool, It's like, and then Rocky just moved out of, South Central. Right there, that fool lives right there on Normandy. He lived on Normandy.
But there's something about the hood.
You know where that fool lives? You know where he lived?
Okay.
Where they filmed Friday.
Stop it!
Swear to
bro.
God, fool. Yeah.
Gardena?
No, that's South Central.
That's South
That's the
Central.
borderline of Gardena, South Central. But that fool, he lived right across the street from when they filmed Friday, fool. That shit was crazy on 79th.
Damn.
Yeah, on 79th
Miss
Vermont.
Parker!
Yeah, we passed by Miss Parker's house. we see where Smokey was back there taking a shit. Yeah, bro.
Talk to me about. Okay, well, this. Okay, I wanted to ask about Clica, but I'll ask about that right now. For some reason, now that I'm more into the entertainment side of things, for me, it seems like it's a very difficult industry. You know what I mean? And I don't know it. I don't want to pretend like I know it, but it's like, how do you manage like to deal with what comes with owning a record label? There's a lot of, I'm assuming there has to be a lot of stress, a lot of issues that you have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like, how do you deal with that, bro?
Well, I don't do this for a living, bro. To begin with. I can't sit here and tell you, I'm going to get up and go to work.
Okay.
Or I just got off of work. This is my life. This is what you see is what really I enjoy doing. Is my heart, is my love, it's my soul, bro. I get up in the morning. I'm listening to music even when I'm asleep, bro. It's like music to me is everything, and just to get up and to do music and to work in music, and you got to deal with people. People change. The majority of or if not, probably like 95% of the artists on our label, were born in Rancho Humilde. We created them right there from ground up. There's a couple of them, like we got Edición Especial, we had Alegres del Barranco, we had a couple other artists that came in already with a little bit of name, and we've helped create to a bigger level, right? And we deal with the only thing that I deal with is kind of like the change of their personalities, maybe, or you got to let them go up, and then they'll get to a place in their mind, and then so many people come to them and, look, fool, he's fucking you, or hey, he's doing this, which a lot of the artists that I've had those problems with, unfortunately they fell off, they're not doing good in business, and now all those people that went in there and fucked their head up ain't around no more, so it's like I feel bad for them in that type of way, and I wish that those people would have not listened to so many people around them, and better yet, just come to me and be like, yo, what can we do, or how can we get this? And like all of them, I advise them to get lawyers. Every single one of them, I show them how to open their company. I make sure they open an LLC or a corporation or whatever they want on their end. I show them how to run their business. I show them how to protect themselves. And I even try to tell them how to invest their money. But again, not all of them listen. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them pay attention to you. Not all of them think that you're telling them something that you want to.
Especially if they're young.
Look, me, I'm going to be straight up, man. A lot of people say, you steal from artists. I don't. How? You can't steal from an artist. I can't steal from you even if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what you make. Everything is 100% digital. You know what I'm saying? You already know what you're generating. You're looking at your royalty statements. You're looking at everything that you have in your company. Now, if you don't believe it, then hire a lawyer. And I'm always make sure, I've even known lawyers to put on artists like, yo, he needs a lawyer. Go work with him. And I don't care if they fight me or they argue with me or they want to ask for their information. You got to have open books, bro. And you got to teach them everything, and you got to show them everything. And at the end of the day, they're going to continue, and I make them open their own companies and them hiring artists and signing artists, and they start doing good. So now they get to face the facts of having another artist, having issues with you now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be the same thing. A lot of people is going to brainwash them. A lot of people is going to tell them that you're not doing good for them. But I'm like, when I met you, fool, you didn't have $1 in your pocket. Now you got millions in your bank account. Like, if you're gonna hate me for that, then goddamn, I wish I would have met a motherfucker like you when I was broke as fuck. You know, because nothing was handed to us, bro. You know, Rancho Humilde, nothing was handed to us. You know?
I think that these young artists don't understand how a business operates.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the disconnect happens.
You know, nowadays everybody thinks that they can make it on their own. You know, this social media has put too many people on like, I can make it on my own. I don't need a manager. I don't need a business consultant. I don't need a lawyer. I don't need until they fucking see the facts. And you got $1 million in your bank account. Then a month later, guess what? You fucking owe $100,000. Why? Because you didn't have somebody to teach you the way, or to protect you, or to show you, or you didn't even go out and seek that help. You know, I know a lot of motherfuckers that know everything, you know, and lose everything. You know, I know motherfuckers that were cool with me a couple months ago, and now got paper, and now it's like I'm their enemy. You know, it's like, how the fuck you make me your enemy, fool? Like, I thought we were cool. Like, I put you on, you know? And it's like, we bump into situations like that. But what it is that if you want to meet a motherfucker, give him money. Give him money, and that motherfucker gonna tell you who he is, how he feels about you, and how he feels about everything, and how it is in life with him, bro. And then they go broke, and then they back to square one, dog. What's up, my boy? Hey, my boy. Peep game, you know?
Hey, fool, did I tell you I love you, fool?
I know. There's a lot of fools out there like that, you know?
I always say this. They don't need you till they need you.
Yep.
You don't need somebody
Yeah.
till you need them. Like, if you're telling them, hey, I've learned this. I made this mistake. Trust me. Do this. And they're young, naive, and they listen to...
Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of motherfuckers that listen to me and are super successful. Super successful. I mean, de más. A lot of artists, a lot of companies, a lot of people. There's companies, bro, out there right now, I ain't going to say their name, but they know who they are, that I've tried to help, right? To be like, nah, don't go that route, fool. I went that route, and they hit me in the ass. And they go that route, and then they're like, hey, fool, can you... I told you. I try to. Sometimes they think I'm hating on them. I'm like, bro, I swear to God to you, dog. I got no room in myself, in my heart, in my brain, or anything to hate on anybody. I promise you, man. I want to see you successful. I want to see him successful. I swear to God, bro. I want to see you have more than me. If that could happen, if I could see a 1,000 motherfuckers have more than me, it's gonna make me happier than you have no idea what it is. I can't hate on somebody. I can't. And people say, oh, he's a hater, or he's a... I'm like, how? Bro,
people are just...
Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm not a hater. I'm grateful. I don't hate on nobody. I can't. Because I can't hate on somebody that's doing the same thing I did trying to come up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not... you can't hate on somebody, like, chasing success. If you hate on a motherfucker getting money or chasing success, man, I don't know who you are. But you ain't a fucking regular person. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't deserve what you got. Because if you out there hating on... I can't hate on you for doing good. I can't hate on him for doing... I can't. Now, I'm going to hate on you for doing bad. And I'm going to get mad at you. And I'm going to tell you, look, fool, this is what you got to do. And look, I'm teaching you how to do it. And if you don't listen, then what can I say, you know?
Some people are just hard-headed.
Better start reading that book. You know, Business for Dummies. You know?
Some people are hard-headed, and you could just put the whole blueprint in front of them.
Yeah.
And they'll still find a fucking excuse to not do it, and then point the finger at you, say it's nah.
Man, you know,
it's like,
a lot of people has pointed their finger to me to say it's my fault of their fall off, you know? And I'm like, bro, I gave you everything you needed. We have all the tools right here. You know, everything is yours. Now, if you don't want to use them, that's your fault, you know? And not only, I'm not talking about just artists. I'm talking about, you know, employees. I'm talking about, you know, many different people. I mean, everyone that works in my company has started from the very lowest to get to where they're at right now. I've never hired somebody from out to say, oh, you're the president of my company. No, bro. The president, the vice president, you know, the managers, everybody on the top has gone through either being my assistant, has worked for us, and either came in as the cleaning lady and the cleaning guy and the guy that started doing buying flights, hotels, traveling with artists. You know, those people in my company have grown to put themselves in a position where they need to be at. And thank God, man, we have a lot of successful and living very well that work for our company, you know?
Because you give them that platform. You give them that foundation. People don't understand how crucial that is. Then when it's time to build something. It's like if you have somebody there that's done it already and is willing to help you and is going to guide you, they got the blueprint already.
Let me tell you something. And I'm going to speak facts.
Okay.
Right? When you grow up in the hood and you don't have nothing and you get to be somebody, the last thing you want to do is hire somebody that grew up just like you. That's the mentality of a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people start doing good, and a lot of artists, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of record labels, a lot of management, whatever. They'll rather go out and hire a guy that's worth $1 million or somebody way much more expensive than to give Pedro an opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen so many people spend a lot of money just on their payroll hiring fucking people that they think is going to make their company better and that takes them straight to the ground because they don't know the business. One of the things about Rancho Humilde that I could speak on is that everybody grows in here. And I don't go out and hire people from other places. I don't go out and hire someone because they graduated from USC and on the masters of accounting. I don't. You know who does my accounting? The person that started with me paying the employees, or the person that started with me buying airline tickets, or the person that started with us traveling with us and knowing the business. Those are the people that I have that run our company. That's why Rancho Humilde stays very well doing that, because everyone that we hire is very hungry. You know what I'm saying? So we don't hire those people, which I don't have no problem with hiring maybe somebody that has a really good education and stuff like that and that worked their ass off for that. But at this point of time right now, everyone that works in our company started from the bottom. You know, a lot of the people started as being my assistant, you know, started as being our groundwork, started as being as a tour promoter, as a tour driver. I have a guy that manages some of the biggest bands in my label that started being with me as a driver every day. You know what I'm saying? So
that's fucking dope.
Yeah, so it's like, I'll tell you, even my guys that you seen with me right now, you know, one of them, you know, they're my securities, but, you know, Ace is already out there managing Panther. He manages Edición Especial. And he's out there working, you know, doing his own thing. Russo worked with me for many years. He found and created farmers with us. And now is very successful, bought his house, has his car. You know, this is my assistant every day to every day. You know what I'm saying? Dorian, which started as JB's assistant, driving him around, a gopher. He manages a couple artists in our label, you know? And it's like Diana and Laura and everybody else that works with us. You know, the president of my company is my boy that I've known for many years that has been in the music industry, but he was like one of the small guys, and now is, you know, he's one of the heads of the music industry, you know, and he's my boy Mickey, you know, he's the president of our company. So, I mean, we've always made people within. So if you want to be successful in life, give an opportunity to the people that are around you and know that struggle, you know, and you want to keep going with that. That's why Rancho Humilde is where it is, because we have that hunger. You know, we don't have fools that get off at 5 o'clock and don't go back to work. My employees, they work at 24/7 because they eat off of this. And that's a rule that I have. Yo, I don't want you to be at work 24/7, but I want you to be available as much as you can for your team. You know what I'm saying? So don't come in here and work 50 hours, 100 hours a week and not get paid for it. If you're going to work 100 hours a week, you definitely going to get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? And they do, because a lot of them, man, they're pretty successful. So, you know, thank God we got to able to do that, and we promised ourselves we were going to do that.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Crazy.
You know, I've interviewed a lot of people, business people, and I think you're the first one that ever says something like that.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Well, man, you know, look, I did an interview not too long ago. We interviewed like 10 different people for a position in our company. One guy wanted to get paid $150,000 a year. The other guy wanted to get paid $180,000. The other girl wanted to get paid $200,000. And these were all college graduates, right? And I was like, okay, cool. I need somebody professional like that in my company. And And then I was like, the guy that we put temporarily at that job was doing a hell of a job. So why was it fair for me to go hire somebody without when this guy is already that's here? He already knows everything that's going on, and I could give him a raise and make that money instead of giving it to somebody else that's going to come in here and it's going to take a long time to learn, and it's going to probably put a stop to our company of how we're going. And this guy kept it going. So I said, hey, bro, I called him. I said, you like that position? Hell yeah. You want to stay there? Yeah. All right, cool. We're going to give you a raise. Boom. And we take care of them. You know what I'm saying? And they don't get paid. Man, look, we got a very high payroll. Very, very, very high payroll. And our company is good. They're doing really good, man. Thank God. And that's a blessing. To me to say that, es un orgullo, cabrón. Because the majority of all these fools in my company, they're all raza. I don't have somebody from outside that works in my company. It's all raza. And my boy Monty, Black Monty, that fool my security. He runs all my security company right now.
That's a big dude right there.
That's a motherfucker right there. He's been with me since many years, man. And
that's fucking dope, though.
And he was with me every day. He was my security every day. And now he runs all the security for the whole company.
But he's seen it when you, like, step one.
Yeah.
So he grew with you.
Yeah, he grew
So
with me.
essentially everybody that you have has grown with you.
Yeah, they all been my assistants. They all worked with us in the office. They all done different shit with us.
I always say this.
Your security just texted me saying that you guys need to head out soon.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
I got like 10 minutes, 15
10 minutes.
I told them you guys are about to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I tell JT and I tell the people that are around me now, I said, okay, well, I want the same people that believed in my vision and believed in what I started to go from here to wherever we're going to go to. So it's something similar to what you said, because I feel that they seen the struggle. It wasn't easy to try to do some of the things that I'm doing, but they seen my effort nonstop, and I see theirs. So it's like, it's only fair for me to appoint these guys that are with me now to be like, all right, you build a team.
Yeah.
We're going to hire these people and we're going to do, but you guys are in charge.
Yeah.
And this is how we're going to grow it.
Make sure you go back to the hood and pick those up, bro.
Yeah.
They're hungry. People in the neighborhoods are hungry. We're hungry, bro. That's why I stay hiring people from, that come from the ground up, bro. Like I
want people that are hungry, that are hustlers. There's one thing that I can't deal with. I don't like lazy people.
I hate lazy motherfuckers. Fuck
I become a little bit better now, like in terms of on how to deal with certain things, but I cannot have those type of people around me.
Yeah.
It irks the shit out of me, dog.
Man, I'm going to tell you, look, and this is straight up. I got felons that work for me. Hardcore felons that are some of the most biggest-hearted people and respectful and hard-working people that I have in the company.
Some sense those are the best.
And I don't look at their background. I look at their future. I don't sit here and I don't, how many people I've helped out, how many people that I've put on the game and to show them the ropes and stuff like that. People that, been in jail all their life, and they ain't gonna see another opportunity, bro. And, it's like, I'm here for that. If I see it, I don't give a fuck what you did, bro. Because I don't want you to look at my background. People go back and go deep in my background. I was a fool. I didn't get here easy. It's like, look, I don't do coke. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke weed. I drink occasionally now. I play a lot of golf.
I see that.
I play a lot of golf. I be on that course.
It's gotta be playing too. This fool's pretty good.
I smash this fool, dog. Real quick. It's like I'm a good 12 handicap. Yeah. Nah, I'm sandbagging fool like a motherfucker. Honestly, bro, it's like you got to be very strong, mentally, bro. Yeah. You got to put yourself there, man. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all day, believe in yourself. Fuck what everybody thinks. You do you. If you believe in something, follow that shit. Don't give up. And it was always for me, it's like, it feels fucked up to have a door closed on you. Not one, not two, not three, not 4, not 5, not 6. I've seen hundreds, maybe thousands of doors close in my face. But I knew one door was going to open, bro. You know, and it did. And to me, it's like, it's a blessing, bro. Like, I never stop. And I never stop now, you know? And I tell people all day, man, like, don't give up. You know how many people I know that give up? And I'm like, nah, man, get back to it, fool, you know? It could be that construction job. It could be that whatever. You want to be a teacher, go to school, fucking go learn. It ain't easy, man. You know, luckily I had to learn this shit the hard way. I lost a lot of motherfucking money, bro, learning this shit. You know, because I didn't come in here knowing everything, but this is what I've been doing all my life. So the way you see the business operating right now is because this is what I wanted to do. This is my way of doing business. You know, when I came in, a lot of people say, oh, this fool robs the artists, all that. No, that was just a standard contract at that time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to say it straight up. The majority of my artists were signed to me in a very fucked up way. And they were signed to me getting a 10, 15% max royalty fee and didn't own the records or nothing. All my artists right now, my top artists, my generating artists, I have gone back and renegotiated our contracts for them to be part owner to be half owner at least of the records, to have ownership in that, right? And also, we renegotiated our contracts. We lower our percentage here. You got to understand, at those times, those were standard contracts. If you would have gone to go buy a car and you got a fucked up credit, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to get high ass interest.
Yep.
If you go buy a car now and you got good credit, you're going to pay a lower interest because that's the way it is. That's the way it works. So as you go in life, there's different contracts at certain times, you know? And I tell people all day, I said, bro, I didn't know you were going to blow up, but I invested all this money in you and time and effort, not only for me, my business partners, my team, everybody. We put in 1,000% of our work.
Risk.
You know how many millions of dollars we have spent? I would say we have spent hundreds of millions of dollars investing in artists that never hit compared to artists that hit. You know, it's real facts. 1 out of 1,000 artists will hit.
Dang.
1 out of 1,000 is going to hit. But when it hits, it's going to hit. But we've taken that risk. So I've explained to the artists, like, look, it's not that we fucked you or anything like that. That was a standard contract at that time.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Now let's get back to the episode.
I didn't know about the business, so I got to get an attorney, and he's like, oh, this is a standard contract. So now that we did that, we were the first company that went back in any genre to go back and change our percentages and renegotiate our contracts.
Without having to do it.
I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to renegotiate a lot of these contracts, bro. I didn't. Now let's talk about this. There's not other companies that has done that. I know for facts. There's a lot of artists out there that you see that are banging that I got a really fucked up ass contract. And they try to go back and renegotiate it and fight it in court. And guess what? They can't win because that was the contract that they signed.
But they get in these fucked up contracts because they lack legal representation, or they just sign whatever the fuck is given to them, right?
You know what? It could be a couple of things, man. I'm not going to blame anything. It could be a lack of knowledge. It could be a lack of, it could be of you just wanting to be an artist and you want to be successful and you want to hit. You know, I know a lot of these artists, they just want to be famous, bro. They don't even care about the money at that time, you know?
That's a fact.
You know, they just want to be famous, you know, and that's what's going on. You know, it's really taking me a while to understand all this TikTok and all these influencers and all this different stuff. Like, you know, it's like I'm just starting to know some of these influencers. Like, dude, I was at a Junior H concert last year, right at the end of the year, and it was like all these people. I was like, fuck's all these people? They're like, oh, they're all influencers. They're all famous. And I see all these people taking pictures with them and shit. And I'm like, and then these kids come up to me and they're like, hey, bro, we're fans of you. And I'm like, orale, cool. Like, who are you, bro? Oh, we're so-and-so. You don't know who we are? I'm like, Nah, fool. I'm older now, fool. You know, it's like I'm not really into that. Like,
fool, I be at the Dodger games, dugout, fool. Like, I be chilling.
I be over there playing golf.
You know?
Honestly, dog, look, I've honestly, I retired. I went out and I did a post last year, and people thought I was playing. I really retired. I don't run my company, bro. All my employees do, and my business partners. We chilling. We're trying to enjoy our life with our families.
That's dope.
You know, we're going back to losing all these years of life that we have invested in our company. You know, I didn't get to know my kids growing up. A lot of people think like, oh, this fool. Nah, fool. Like, I didn't know my son and my daughter the way I do know them now. You know, it was never too late. But I grew up. My son grew up not having a dad with him 24/7, because I was always touring on business with my artists, hanging out with them. You know, my daughter too. You know, and now it's like every little chance and opportunity I can, I'm with them. And now it's like I get to pick and choose what artist I go and hang out with or what concert I want to go to or not. You know what I'm saying? But now my priority is different. My priority is my kids and my family, you know, and my wife and my kids, and then, you know, my family at home. It's like, that's my priority, bro. So if you see me that a lot of people be like, oh, that's Jimmy falling off. Nah, fool, I made myself fall off, you know, because I had to live my life. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a time and place that when you're coming up, you sacrifice a lot of things. And unfortunately, well, speaking for myself, it's a lot of family time.
Yep.
My son is 22. So he didn't have me around like that because I was trying to build what I have now.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm not willing to sacrifice that at this stage in my life with my two little ones.
Nah.
So you ain't going to catch me at,
Yeah.
you know.
Now,
I tried, but it's
now
really
you know
hard.
what's the fucked up part is a lot of us lost families. You know, weren't able to save that family. You know, a lot of them, you know, the kids are on drugs, kids are fucking up in life, lost a wife. You know, wife went out and married somebody else, you know, and needed that time and that space, you know. And luckily, you know, we were blessed to have our kids that understand us now. And, you know, my daughter, I got to go with her to a Dodger game the other day, and we didn't really speak because I was fucking pissed. You know, and I'm like, damn, baby, like, it ain't you. It's just fucking Dodgers. You know, how the fuck are they up? Then they're down. They're up again. Then they down. Like, and she was like, she doesn't say,
chill, Dad.
No, she was hot too, you know. So it was like, you know, we know her, and my kids. It's like I have such a beautiful relationship with my kids, man. You know, and it's like I come home, my wife, the kids, and you know, I get to spend time, watch movies with them, eat with them. You know, it's like all that shit. So it's like, bro, you know, in life, man, you got to calm down at some point too. You know, all you fools out there partying, all that shit, spending all that money in the club, it's all good. Go and do it, but limit yourself. You know, don't forget. Somebody at home loves you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, anything in excess is all bad. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
You know, like, relax. Don't go all out like that.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's beautiful out there, man. You know, partying and all that shit. It's all good.
I mean, it's part of being young. When then you start getting a little bit older, and then your priorities start changing.
Yeah.
I think age gives you a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
And I think that's in the stage that I am in my life.
Yeah.
I'm about to be 42. So I just think all the wisdom that I have and the things that I would do before, I'm like, oh God.
I just did. You know? I just did an interview. I stopped doing interviews for a while, and I'm really not doing interviews, bro.
This is a conversation.
I'm down with this right here because it's raza, and I feel comfortable. But I just did an interview for Variety. I did an interview for LA Times. Did a story on me for like one of the most successful people in LA. You know, and but I did another interview for a huge network, right? And they asked me a question. They said, "Have you feel you reached your goal?" And I was like, "Well, shit, I reached a lot of goals because you know I tried, but my main goal that I feel that I've reached, and I know my partners agree with this too, is that there's so much raza that's proud to be raza, bro. You know, growing up, a lot of them weren't proud to be a paisa, and a lot of them weren't down to be Mexican and like Spanish music and all that shit. And right now, that was one of our biggest goals, bro. And also our company, our music to be respected global. That was my goal, bro. You know, it's like we're not regional Mexican music. We're not from a region only. We're worldwide Mexican music. And what's beautiful is that now my kids are listening to Mexican music. You know, all these kids that didn't want to speak Spanish are learning how to speak Spanish. All these influencers out there that really take pride now on their roots. There's people out there even fighting for our roots, you know, and out there, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, they're out there. Them fools don't really care about being Mexican. They're just out there for the clout. You know, when people were doing the ¿cómo se llama? The marches and everything, right? Yeah. And I was like, hell no, I was proud to see that, bro. Because back then we couldn't even get one influencer or so-and-so to go out there and do it, you know? It's like we couldn't get nobody to do that. You know, I would go do my marches and everything, but I didn't post everything because I was out there with my kids and I was out there being me. You know, and I would tell people, I don't want to take pictures, you know, just do your march like me. You know, fuck all this clout and all that shit. I just want to be here. Like, I want to embrace this. Like, I want to take part of this. And I got to see so many kids, so many adults, bro, that were like, hey, man, because of you, my kids listen to Mexican music. Hey, because of you, like, you know, they don't listen to hip-hop no more. Like, let me tell you, man, the industry's scared. The world is fucking scared of us, raza. La neta.
Because we're the majority.
We're the majority. And I've been speaking those facts forever, bro. Like, I'm with our people, bro. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep fighting, keep believing. They're not going to be able to stop. Now we're releasing Clica. You know, we're releasing a movie. Yeah. It's a corrido on film, a corrido that you hear on film. And it's something like us trying to build. I just want to open the door for the raza, bro. I want to be able to have, you know, I respect American Me. I respect Blood In, Blood Out. I respect Selena. I respect La Bamba. But I'm going to tell you one thing. La Bamba, they didn't have Mexican actors, you know, as much as it should have been. You know, Selena, she wasn't a Mexican actress. You know what I'm saying? American Me, they weren't all Mexican, which is okay. You know, Blood In, Blood Out, they weren't all Mexican, which is okay. But those are like the movies that represent our culture. You get what I'm saying? But there's way more to that. Way more to that. So this movie coming out, you know, Duno, Concrete, JD, you know, the singer of Herencia de Patrones. We got other actors that are on here really representing our culture. You know what I'm saying? And they're really out there showing what we're really doing. You know, Jay Valentino doing what he does in the movie. You know, it's like we really spent a lot of time. We're releasing this movie with Columbia, Sony Pictures, with Rancho Humilde and Sony Latin. And in the life of Earth, they've never done anything this big with Mexican. So we're thinking that this is going to be big. I hope it's the opener to many things. I hope many different directors, producers, writers, filmmakers, they all get an opportunity from this that we're really focusing on. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to be a global movie. Dang. It's coming out on over 1,000 theaters in the U.S. Right?
When? I want to know when, dog.
I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be soon.
All right.
But it's coming out 100%.
So it's gonna be in theaters.
100%. This is a theatrical film. The reason why we hold back on it, we were gonna release it in August. I just felt it wasn't ready. I felt the film wasn't ready.
Okay.
So I had to go back, and Columbia and Sony were like, "What the fuck? We're ready to go." Like, nope, not ready. And then plus all the shit was going on with the you know the marches and all that. I didn't want to feel like I was taking advantage of my own people. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, here's a Mexican movie. We all gotta support it. No, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to.
I think you made the right move.
Yeah, I just wanted to
let things settle.
Wait, you know they're scared of us, bro. You know now, so many people that are scared, or they were scared, or they looked at us different. Now they're believing in us. Now a lot of people are looking at the raza like, damn, we really need these people.
Yeah, but it has a lot to do with you and a lot of the other people that are opening doors.
Hell yeah.
For us. There's a lot of people that put on a lot of people in different types of industry.
That's dope.
And, you know, I have had the honor to interview a lot of them.
Hell yeah.
And it just makes me feel like, fuck, this is because of you guys.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are opening doors. And, you know, you're letting people that look like me and you in these positions.
I'm on a mission, bro. I'm on a mission. And my mission is just to make sure our raza's on top. Money, man, yeah. Money, everybody wants money, bro. But if you chasing money, you're chasing the wrong dream.
I agree.
You know? If you're chasing your right dream, money's going to come with it. If you're chasing money, you're chasing the wrong dream. It ain't about money. It ain't about fucking money. Like I told
Right.
you, money didn't make me, man. The person I am, this is a blessing to have. But who you are here is a person that you're going to take with you. You ain't going to take money with you. You know what I'm saying? So who you are as a person in life and who you are to your loved ones, the people you really need to be good with, who you are to people in the eyesight. If I'm out there low riding, you see me out on the street, I'm shaking everybody's hand. Whatever I got in my pocket is going out to the kids that I see. You know how many times I got home barefooted, bro? You know how many times I got home without my hat, my jackets, all that? Because I give it to my people all the time. Hey, fool, I wish I had your shoes. Man, fool, here you go. I swear to God, I've done it so many times. Kids, my hats, man, people I see on the streets, man, pull over, man. I got to kick this fool down. I do that shit all the time because I grew up so broke, bro, that you have no idea how much of a good feeling it is to bless people, bro.
Amen.
You know? And I don't do it to show off. I don't give a fuck about showing off. Do you think I really want to show off? I think just from looking at what we have and what we do is already a show off. That's already show to prove. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to show you what I got. But I am going to tell you, I'm going to be the first motherfucking billionaire in this earth that represents our raza. That's my goal.
Damn.
I'm doing that shit. I ain't far from it. And we're going to do that
And
shit.
it's doable.
We're going to do it.
You have the resources. You have the right team behind you.
We're going to do it. And I'm going to keep investing in our raza. And I'm going to keep investing in doing this. You know, it's like, look, I'm out there talking to some people right now about doing community centers throughout the whole U.S. just for our community. You know? I'm out there doing that right now. We're out there talking about a $200 million investment of how to build community centers, right? Government community centers for our raza, for our kids, somewhere where they could go get an education, get into sports, find different ways of life, find a trade school in life. You know what I'm saying? We want to have different trades in there. That's our goal. That's our next goal. We're looking to do that. And these are people that have created huge youth centers and entertainment centers and convention centers for a lot of kids out there, for different communities that have nothing to do with raza.
Damn.
Yeah, we want to do it.
How did that come about?
Because I used a lot of community centers to get where I needed to get through.
Huh?
I remember when we were kids, we used to go with my jefita to, it was called the Teen Post Community Center. And we used to get there, go to get food.
Damn. So then it's something that's deep, that means something to you.
Yep.
And that's commendable, brother. Because
Got to get back.
you have
Got to
to
show it. A lot of people don't know, dog. Like, shit, growing up with cheese. You know what I'm saying? The block cheese in the hood. It's like, yeah, that shit hits me, fool. Like, growing up with cheese in the neighborhood, like, you know, like, con latas. I remember my mom would be like, hey, yo, I was a hustler, dog. I've been a hustler since I was a fucking kid. I used to go there, change my shirt, go get another block of cheese. Wear a hat, put on a different hat. No, I'm good. Grab a different hat, put on a different shirt, go back to the other truck or the other, you know, community center to get a block of cheese. Because they would come once every 2 weeks. They used to drop the cheeses in the neighborhood and everything. And I used to go to my bike, go to one center. And I used to get home, you know, my mom bring all the cheese and the canned foods and everything, the beans, the rice, y todo, el pan, y todo el pinche pedo.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, bro. And then, you know, just giving it back, you know, and going back, building those youth centers. I remember that shit, bro.
I wonder if, like, my community had one of those. I don't even know if it did.
I'm sure it
'Cause
did.
we were out there
Every
doing
neighborhood
stupid
had one,
shit.
bro. Every neighborhood had a lot of people.
I would want to teach
Up,
one of those, like some
That's dope,
financial,
bro.
some financial literacy for kids. You know what I was thinking
But just
about writing a
imagine-
book like that,
Should.
but for kids,
you should.
like for like 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even know how to, but I wouldn't know how to go about it, and not to make money.
Well, I'll talk to you.
Like I'm fucking
I'm actually
50
doing 3
cents.
books.
Go buy it.
Yeah, I'm actually doing 3 books right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm doing 3 books. One about my life. Another one of
Should do a movie of your life.
man. They've been offering me so much shit for it. I don't think I'm ready.
No,
Nah, it's not ready yet.
it's a lot.
Probably in a couple more years,
Yeah.
hopefully. You know, but the first book that I'm going to release is a little mini documentary.
Okay.
And then the second book that I want to release is about how to create business in the music business. And then the third one is just how to be a good person in life, you know, and just be a good person with your family and everybody else. So it's like, you know, different aspects of life, carnal. You know, it's like
it takes nothing to be a good person, and I think some people are, especially with a lot of stuff that's happening. I'm like, that costs nothing to be a good person, to treat
nothing,
somebody
bro.
right. To hey, how's it going? You never know what somebody's going through in life.
Oh hell no!
And your interaction can make their day.
All day.
Like
Man.
we went to go buy the fucking True. Hey ladies, how are you guys? You know, like they puts a smile on their face, like, hey, give them a tip, or else they're not gonna fucking hook it up. You know, with the it costing me nothing.
You know what's a trip? You know how long it's been that I haven't been to a market? Because, you know, thank God, bro. It's like we have a lot of people that work with us, and we have our list, and they go and they get in. Plus, I can't be at every market sometimes. You know, it gets hectic sometimes.
I could just imagine.
But look, I went to a market the other day, and I went to what market was it? No,
Vallarta.
it was a Vallarta. It was a Vallarta right here on
Imperial.
On Imperial.
Yeah.
And I dropped off my son at school, and then we went to Vallarta, and I was by myself. Estaba solo, güey. And I needed to get a couple of things from there. You know, I wanted to get some corn. Quería que la señora me cociera unos corns. And then I wanted to get a couple of things from there. I got to get some cereal boxes, some milk, you know, shit that I wanted to eat, you know. I was like, man, I haven't been shopping a little bit. So I went in there, but trip out. So the lady in front of me, she had a whole two carts of food, bro, right? And I was like, era una señora, you know, and I heard her on the phone. She was like, oh, sí, ya, para por allá y también compra pan para llevarles pan. And I was like, okay. And I started ear hustling, you know. And then she was buying all kinds of stuff, yogurts, you know, a lot of stuff. So, I was looking at her, and she was just buying. I was like, damn, another cart. I was like, fuck. I was like, hurry up, lady. You know, like, shit, I want to leave.
Yo nomás tengo cuatro.
And then, but watch how things work in life, carnal. That she was done paying, and I just took out my card and I said, beep. And she was like, ¿qué está haciendo? And then I was like, I was right there waiting. Like, I was like, man, I was just, and I promise you, it wasn't even in my head. It wasn't nowhere near my head. And then I had my card in my hand. You know, I was bumming it. I was looking all fucked up, you know? And yeah, straight up, dog, you know, and I remember I just reached over and I said, when she was about to take out her card, like put her card, I said, beep. And that shit. And no agarraba. And then I said, damn. And she was like trying to move me. Like,
no, ¿qué está haciendo?
No. And then the cashier looked at me and she goes, yo voy a pagar eso, oiga. Se lo voy a regalar. And then she was like, no. And I was like, sí. Like straight up for it. I started laughing, you know, and she wasn't laughing. And then she was like, no. And I was like, sí. She was like, no. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's already paid, señora, ya está pagado. And she started crying. And I was like, she was like, no. And I was like, kind of freaked me out. I was like, okay, well, no. You know, I was like, and then she was like, she gave me a big ass hug, and I was like, the fuck? Like, me quedé como like, all right, you know, and then she was like, es que esta comida no es para mí, you know, when she calmed down and whatever. And then I was like, ¿pa quién es? She goes, pa mis vecinas. You know, todas tienen hijos y sus esposos no están yendo a trabajar. And I was like,
and you never know what somebody else is going through. And being nice and doing...
And I never go to the store, fool. That's what was crazy. That's where I was like, damn. I never go to the store.
This is the importance of...
Being nice?
Being kind. It takes nothing.
And it was only like $800, fool. You know, it was like $800. It was a lot of shit. When I tell you, those carritos were full, and shit.
$800.
Shit ain't cheap no more, fool. You know,
$800 at Vallarta. That shit must have been like three. It must have been like three things.
Yeah, and the lady looked at me and she was like, because I was in there rush hour, fool. All the kids, you know, all the ladies that drop out their kids, they go to the market after. You know, I was in there rush hour. That's rush hour. So, you know, it was like when I dropped my card and I was like, then I get back in the car and I'm like, now I'm in the car, and then the lady's like, oh, gracias, you know. And then the other lady, the cashier, she was like, like, se pasó, oiga, se pasó. And she's like crying and shit. And I'm right there bawling. And then she's like, hey, like, that's crazy, you know, that you did that. And I was like, I don't know, me nació, you know. And they didn't know who I was. Those ladies didn't know who the fuck I was, you know. I didn't tell them, oh, soy Jimmy Humilde, blah, blah. I didn't give a fuck, you know. But,
didn't
but
matter.
when they told me, no. But well, I was bumming it, and then I had a hat with glasses on. You know, like I had some hat with glasses. I always go out in public by myself like that, you know. And the lady was like, "Órale, que está bien que hizo eso usted, oiga." And I was like, "Yeah." And then she did look at me though, because you know, I whipped out my black card, you know? But she was just like, "Oh, okay," you know, like I don't know if should I ask him for his ID, or I was like, I don't have it with me anyways, you know. I'll go to the car and grab it if she would have asked, but you know, the lady, like, she was just like, no. And then I was like, oiga, agarre ese dinero y mejor aguárdelo. She goes, no voy a comprar más.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, I wish I would have had cash on me. If I would have had cash on me, I would have dumped it all on her, you know? But dude, when she told me that, so then I'm on my way home in the car, and then I call my partners, and I'm like, hey, fool, we got to do something for the communities right now. They're not going to work. You know, we got to do something. So I call my boys that I have that do a lot of social work, and what they want to do is that, so that way people feel safe doing it. We're talking to a couple of people that we know in the LAPD that have that work in, like, you know, we do a lot of donations to them, because through them we go in the neighborhoods, because it gets crazy, fool. You know, a lot of these fools, they'll jack you for all your fucking toys. We're in the hood, fool. We've been there where fools grab up and they come up and they've taken like 10 boxes from the toys that we got. So we were like, hey, fool, we got to go in there safer now. You know, we can't go in the Jordan Downs, fool, and fucking be cool.
Fools just be rolling up and boom.
Yeah, fool, they don't give a fuck. They'll snatch your shit and run, you know. But so what we did is now we go with the Hudas, you know, and they're down, fool, because those Hudas, they fucking love doing that shit. A lot of them fools got good heart, you know, to give back to the communities. And I called them, and I called all of them. Hey, fool, I need your help. You know, and this is what I talked to them. Hey, fool, I need your help. I'm trying to give away this donations. I want to give baskets of food and going to these different neighborhoods in Compton and all these people that are not going to work, because a lot of people are scared, fool. A lot of these people are fucking scared right now, dog. And a lot of construction workers, a lot of fucking people, they're not going to work. So that's our next thing that we're working on right now, is putting together. And, you know, we're dumping a lot of money in that. You know, they were like, what budget do we start with? And I was like, put $250,000 just for now, just for local, you know, and that's a lot. 250 grand is a fucking
That's a lot, bro.
So we're doing that, and hopefully we could get other people to donate también. And, you know, my people that I know is going to start reaching out to a lot of food brands, see if they want to start helping out too, you know. So we got that shit going on.
Well, then we'll help out.
Yeah.
I got
You don't need me to go help out, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The way I did me helping out is I interviewed a immigration attorney, and during our podcast, I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, I didn't realize how much it was going to be, though. I was like, genius about it.
You're like,
But, hey, my word is my bond. So I was like, all right, we're going to sponsor 20 families and, you know, put out his information, and we're going to take care of the initial fee so you could go start your legal process so you don't have to be in fear, you know? And to me, it was something that I had to do. I already had planned it in my head, but I was just like, all right, you know, I could either sit here and kind of like you didn't need nobody. You just did it.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, I think it was something that was bothering me, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can't just be like everybody else posting 27 videos a day and really not doing nothing.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, how do I make real impact? That makes real impact.
hell yeah.
You know, what I did is like, this dude's like, hey, bro, shout out to JP. He's like, bro, my shit is blowing up.
Yeah.
Appointment after appointment after appointment. And I'm like, that to me is
But
like,
we just got we got a guy out of jail.
I seen that.
You know, a couple of guys out of jail. Not for that. You know, that attorney's been getting down, bro. He's been doing a gang of shit too. And you know, it's like that family's like, hey, we want to like thank you. And I'm like, dude, like, you don't thank me, thank the attorney, you know? It's like he did the job. All I did is I just used my social media platform and put it up. But look, nothing hits me in life but to see a family kid, bro. A hungry family. That fucks with me. Like, I don't care about nothing. Nothing will fuck with me, bro. You could call me an asshole. You can me puede rayar la madre. I don't give a fuck what you do. But if I see a hungry kid, bro, that fucks with me, you know? And to me, a sad kid, because a hungry kid, that was me one day, bro. You know, it's like, look, I didn't grow up with my dad being with me 24/7. Not because he didn't want to. It's because he worked graveyard as a panadero, bro. And then the daytime he was asleep. You know, so he didn't come out to a lot of my baseball games and a lot of my stuff that I did growing up. But he was there financially, and he was there when he needed to be there. You know, he would talk to me every day. You know, it's like that was my dad, my homie.
That was most of us growing up. Like first generation, I think we all have the same upbringing.
Yeah, so
like our dads were there,
but really weren't.
But they really weren't.
Yeah, it's like,
and it's like he ain't gonna be like, cabrón, tengo que trabajar. ¿Cómo que voy a
where my
you know, you're gonna go get in a fucking award? Fuck that.
Before my dad
working.
passed away, I was like, hey, quiero dar las gracias, you know, por todo lo que me ha dado. ¿Y qué tienes, cabrón? I was like, man, what y'all, dog? You in bed, I'll still, you know.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Rest in peace, my pa.
¿Qué
¿Qué tienes, cabrón? I was laughing. I was like, damn, pause. But look, man, to everybody out there, I know a lot of people watch your podcast, and you know, if you got a little bit, give it a little bit. If you got a lot, give it a little bit. You don't have to do a lot. Don't go through people like me or him to do something that you want to do. If you want to do it, just do it, man. You know, if you know your neighbor's struggling, go over there, drop off a little cake, a little bag of food for the kids, you know? Like, man, there's a lot of people not working right now, man. They scared. You know, and we're going to get through this shit. I know one thing's going to happen because I believe in God, bro. And mis San Juditas y la Virgencita, and they going to make it happen, bro. And I know something's going to happen. We're not bad people. We're not out here being criminals. Well, not the majority, you know what I'm saying? But
a good percentage of us are
but we out there, you know, but that's what we know and whatever, you know. But look, it's if you can, just go out and help. That's it, man. Just go out, put a little piece of rice in the grain.
Poquito.
You know? Yeah, un poquito es mucho,
and
you know.
Pray.
Yeah.
Prayer
you know, I read
has
some
done
shit.
a lot.
You know, I read some shit yesterday that was like pretty badass. It was a quote that said, I'm never gonna forget this. It says, no matter how old you are, there's somebody your age out there that is living their last day. So
that's a fact.
No matter how old you are, there's somebody out there the same age as you are living their last day.
So what does that tell you?
Appreciate life.
Appreciate it y que te valga verga todo lo que dice la gente.
Respira todo lo bueno y saca todo lo que no sirve a chingar. What it is.
You know?
Yeah, las viejas fodongas and all that shit.
That's very important.
Yeah.
But I know you gotta go. But
let's go. I gotta go to another
But I'm gonna close it with this.
Go ahead, bro.
It's crazy how God works, right? I'm a man of faith. You know, I'm very, you know, I don't like the word. No, I'm a man of faith. Let's just leave it at that, right? God is really present in my life.
Of course.
And I went to your compound.
Sure.
I went to your compound, and you don't realize what that did to me. Like, I was really, really inspired. Like, I'm like, fuck, fool, I need a fucking compound.
Yeah.
And then I go to Fluffy's.
Órale.
And I'm like,
I've never been to Fluffy's.
Madre. I'm like, dog, I need something like this.
Yeah.
So, and I told Fluffy that to his face, and I'm telling you to your face. Like, you guys don't know what you did to my little brain when I went in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. True Hustle needs a compound too. I'm not saying you guys at another level, but I'm like, it would be dope to have my own little, you know, something like that. So fast forward, I bought my warehouse in Paramount.
Dope.
You know, and we're gonna finalize it probably in 2 months.
Man,
I'm
dope.
doing this madre y medio.
Yeah.
But I got to interview you guys back to back, and it just happened.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I sat there and I'm like, because he knows the story. He knows what motivated me to do that.
Inspired, bro. This was like, we gotta do more.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, and it makes me feel great that you're like me.
That's badass, fool.
And I fucking told Fluffy that, and Fluffy was like, oh shit, because I was like, I just told him, and I'm like, I mean, it ain't as big as yours, but to me, it's something that was influenced by you guys, and God put you guys back-to-back interviews.
That's dope.
And I don't know if he was speaking to me because I was all stressed and shit. I got like 4 projects going on, and I'm like, and I felt really overwhelmed, and I'm like, well, if it was easy, then everybody would do it.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
Te costó. I'm sure that it was a fucking, to get where you're at was not easy. And then I told Fluffy, like, to get where you're at, it was not easy. So, there was times when I was like, oh, damn, fuck, I can't believe I'm fucking doing this right now. Like, but I wanted to thank you.
You're welcome.
And
man.
I know that you influence and inspire a lot of other people, not just me, bro.
Thanks, bro.
So to me, it makes me happy that you're like me, you look like me. Fluffy, you guys are doing big things, and
I feel a little bigger than us, though.
Yeah, he's a big, yeah. And
I wish I get to meet that fool one day, bro. I don't know him. I've never met him.
Oh well, we're gonna make that happen.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Yeah,
he's cool. He's cool. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of mutual friends, but
bro, I have a lot of respect for him because I determine I don't listen to no outside noise of what people have to say about individuals. I judge them how they treat me, how they treat my people, and the hospitality, not the hospitality, just how you are as a person. I make that decision. I don't let nobody influence nothing.
That's dope.
And I'm like, man, like, I've been very fortunate that everybody that's been here has been legit, and the way they've treated me and the people around me, I couldn't ask for nothing better. So
that's dope, bro.
We're gonna make that happen, bro.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. Thank you, my boy.
Shit, this was good.
Thank you for the time.
Hey, Jimmy, my brother. I appreciate you, man.
All day, brother. All day.
We
all
out.
day.
Vámonos. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss our weekly episodes. Let's go, baby.